Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Lin of Rehab and Revive Physical Therapy. Thanks for joining in today. We're going to discuss a really cool exercise for freeing up your spine, lubricating it, and just like self-treating. And this is kind of really cool. Make sure you check with your healthcare professional, see if this is the right exercise for you. We call this arch and sag in our functional manual therapy world. It's also called Cat-Camel in most yoga and Pilates world. So let's get right into it. But this is a way to kind of localize. I tell my patients that it's like calibrating the right segment, and then you're getting to those joints that are a little bit rigid in your spine, and you're starting to lubricate it. And you definitely have to listen to your barriers. So those are the main steps that we want to do. So we're gonna get right into it. Hope you don't mind. Got a farmer stand. All right. So we're gonna start neutral. And this is neutral. You're gonna notice that if you have discomfort already in neutral, that's as far as you go. So don't go past that. So if you go forward, you're gonna start getting what we call the nadir of this curve. The pressure is gonna be somewhere here. If you go backwards, if you do things like the child's pose, usually gets things like the upper body and frees up the heart and the diaphragm. So that's kind of what we were thinking about here. So, but really what we want to do is start into flexion here and get that. You want a nice arch like the St. Louis arch, and then you can see that this arch starts curving right around here, a little bit flat here, so I have little issues there. But if you can take that, you can take that here, and then what we want to do is I tell people we do some fishtailing. So you're going to find a direction. You're going to find a direction that is restricted. So this one's a little bit tight on me, and then you can still calibrate, fine-tune it a little bit more, and then we're going to find that spot. You can adjust things, try to keep your head in neutral. And then what I tell people to do is start weight shifting. And I can tell you that going to the left on me in this spot is a little bit restricted. This is actually one of my favorite exercises. I try to do this every morning to start freeing up the vertebrae a little bit to loosen me up for work. And then what happens is your ideal goal is to get all the way to here and be able to sit. I tell people you should be able to kind of hold your leg and get like in the circular. That's probably the most efficient, and then vice versa. You can see on this side it's really good. I can kind of hinge on here and move in that circle without my spine being all that compressed. So just try that again, and I could try, if you want to try to get upper part, that's also great too. And so this is usually what I end up doing because I have more of this flat line. You want that nice arch. Every vertebrae should be a stepwise action here. Now after that, make sure you're not getting any symptoms other than the actual joint itself. Sometimes things might pop on its own. Don't force it. So that's sometimes a good thing because it's popping back in the right place, but don't force it. And then so the next thing we want to do is you want to sag, or this is the cat part. And you're gonna do the same thing. So being more forward gets lower back, and then you can calibrate if you want to start working your lower back. And then what we want to do is you're going to work on that weight shift, and that calibrates. So you have three planes. You're working frontal plane, you're working the transverse plane, and you're working also that sagittal plane. So you're gonna work here, and then I can get up here, and I can feel that discomfort up here. And so, that's in this extension position. Those of you with extension problems, people with stenosis, you gotta do this very carefully. But other than that, it's a great thing. You spend about 2 or 3 minutes doing it, and things start freeing up. You're decompressing your spine, so it's really a way to localize and use what we commonly know as the cat and camel, and really use it to our advantage. So there you have it. That's the arch and sag exercise, or the cat and camel. We all kind of know it, but this is a way to localize and decompress your spine. Make sure it's the right exercise for you. Check with your healthcare professional. But this is one of my favorites, and I teach this in the clinic all the time. And so if you like what we're doing, please subscribe to our channel. Make sure we're always putting out some new stuff. Leave a comment below, or you can email us your questions at rehabandrevivemedia@gmail.com. I'm Dr. Lin of Rehab and Revive. Remember, we can and we will get better together. So here it is again. What we're gonna do for the arch and sag is you're gonna get on your hands and knees if you can tolerate it. Then you want to start in neutral. If you shift forward and backwards, that's how you're gonna do this. Figure out if you want the upper spine or the lower spine. Then what you want to do is, if you can handle being in flexion or this arched position, you can find this position and you can start calibrating forward backwards till you get to the spot that's dysfunctional or has some restriction. Then what you want to do is you can fishtail, use your legs, your hip rotation, and lock that in, and then recalibrate some more. And the final way to treat it, or to help yourself, is to weight shift on and off of that, from left leg, left arm, to right arm, right leg. And that's the way to do it. And then the same goes if you're gonna do the arch. So follow these steps and we'll be able to start freeing up those joints. Pick it up. And there's that. So that's hard. It took me a while to do this, but make sure this exercise is good for you, and you can try this while you're watching TV, and really try to get the ball to pick up.